Good morning, everyone. Jefferson Fossey here with Walsh Trading. Happy Wednesday. It is October 22nd. It's a few minutes here after 7:45 in the morning. We'll take a look and see what the markets did here yesterday, what may have happened overnight, what might happen here today. Please keep in mind futures trading does involve substantial amounts of risk. Certainly not suitable for all investors, traders, or producers. So let's start off like we normally do here with the livestock markets. Fat cattle for the December contract up 177 yesterday, February up 175, higher highs, higher lows, but still maintaining the trading ranges here from, Monday and Tuesday. We're still within Friday's range, haven't broken out of that. Long-term trend is still up. 10-day moving average is still holding its support, and fat cattle closed right at the 5-day here yesterday, or just above it actually. The close was 245.42. That 5-day average should be right around that 245.10, 11 or so. Volumes have been dropping off the last couple of days. Allegedly, there's going to be an announcement today from the White House about how and what their plan is to actually lower beef prices. I don't think imports from Argentina are going to be a huge part of it. That'll be some of it, but they don't produce enough beef to make any meaningful dent in our beef consumption here in the States, in my opinion anyway. But we'll have to wait today to see what happens here, what the government's actually going to do. If you don't have positions on here in fat cattle, I'd be more worried about the downside than the upside. Producers may want to consider some cheap put options here today before that announcement. Don't know what it's going to say. Those might end up being a waste of time and money if the market reacts bullishly, but I think downside is probably your biggest risk from here. Feeder cattle still trading within that equilibrium day, the doji here that they had on Monday. He did have kind of an small engulfing day here yesterday, but all stayed well within certainly Monday's range and closing back up into Friday's range here as well. Trading below both the 5 and the 10-day moving averages here. The January feeders there at 370.27 as of yesterday's close. December lean hogs, 3 days we've had lows here right against that 82 cent level, 82.10 here on Friday. 82.05 on Monday, 82.02 here on Tuesday, and then we couldn't push through the 82 level. You get about a short covering here. Pushed the market up pretty strong, almost got up high enough to fill the gap here that they left here from a week ago Monday, so a week and a half ago now. That price gap's at 84.45. Seems like a reasonable target from here. Closed at 83.27 yesterday, up $1.20. Grain markets, you got corn, down day here yesterday. Down 3.5. Was that just turnaround Tuesday? I'm not sure. You did have a higher high and a lower low here yesterday relative to Monday's trade. Monday's low was 419.5. Yesterday was 418.5. Settlement was at 419.75, back underneath. Well, that 100-day moving average, the white one, has been really kind of holding the lid on the market here for the past 5-6 months. Closed up above it for, barely 3 days. 1 barely, 2 3 days. Didn't do it yesterday. This morning we're trading right just below it. That's it, or right at it actually. 420.75 is where you've got the 100-day average. Corn finished the night here at 421, up a penny and a quarter. Market's relatively overbought, but we haven't had much of a price jumping in here. And I still think corn's got a shot to go fill this gap here from July 3rd up there right around that 433 mark. January soybeans are higher here this morning, up 3.5. 10.52 is where they finished the overnight session. A little bit of profit taken here yesterday. That spike high does concern me a little bit, but we held 50-day moving average support. That's what the green one is. The 100 and the 200 are below the market here, very close to each other. 10.43 half, 10.43 That's where the purple and the white one are. You do have a nice little strong move up here, and it has been working higher here for about the last week and a half or so. I do like the fact that the support has held here against those early October highs. Could give us enough momentum to push the market. January beans here up toward that 10.70 or so range. Soy meal's down about 60 cents here this morning. Had a nice strong up day though yesterday, up another $1.90, running into trendline resistance, running into 100-day moving average resistance. I think both of those are pretty critical. Market's been in a downtrend for a while. If we can break through those, freeze things up, maybe push back up toward that $300 even level. December soybean oil's up 25 this morning. Choppy upward trend here over the last month or so. Not a whole lot of directional movement to it, generally going higher. But that 50-day moving average gave us some resistance here last week on Thursday. Couldn't really get through it here this week. Big bearish day down, 66 yesterday, down a little over 1.2%. This morning they're up a little bit. I think this choppy uptrend kind of continues here for a while. Chicago wheat's up a penny and a quarter here today, but yesterday it was down 4.5. Trading down, closed at $5.25. This morning we're at 501.5, bouncing up just a little bit. I don't know. You had an equilibrium day here on Monday, bearish confirmation here yesterday. It's early in the day, so we won't count this as an equilibrium day here just yet. But the wheat market needs a better bullish story here. KC's up a penny and a quarter here this morning. My charts flipped to the buy side here with Monday's trade. And of course, yesterday was down a nickel. This morning it's up a penny and a quarter. Hopefully the down momentum has slowed, but this downtrend has been in place here for quite some time. Other markets that I've got new signals in here since my last update. Cotton market, short-term averages flipped to the buy side here with yesterday's trade. Yesterday we were up 26. This morning we're down about 26. Actually 23 lower is the last I show. Market's been trending lower here for a little while. I'm not getting bullish, but we could be due for a short-term bounce. Maybe check up to that 66 level where you've got that 50-day moving average, 66.03, kind of coincidentally against the lows that we had here early September. That's in that 65.80 or so range. So might see a little bit of a bounce up here in cotton. Also have a new signal here in cocoa. That's changing here this morning. It's up 346. It's kind of made a nice little rounded bottom here over the past couple of weeks. Back up above trend line. That was resistance. Now it becomes a little bit of support. Again, not getting bullish here. Fundamentals, I think, are still heavy and still bearish for cocoa market, but we could see a nice little bounce up. Perhaps targeting, well, maybe that 50-day average right up just north of 7,000, although I think those July 16th lows at that 7,090 area might kind of hold us here. And the other market that I've got a new signal in here is natural gas. Let's get down to that one here now. That's the NASDAQ. Sorry, guys. There it is. It's down just a couple of ticks here this morning. Vaulted higher here on Monday. Big gap opening here. That gap goes all the way down to 374.80. Very strong day up here on Monday, though, closing 29.5, almost 29.5 cents higher. Up another nickel plus yesterday. This morning, just a little bit quiet. You do have that 100-day moving average offering resistance. That's at 418.10. But yeah, the market made a sharp jump, probably wants to jump a little bit higher. That gap does concern me. Eventually we will go back down and fill that gap at some point, but they might be shooting for this overhead gap here that's been left on the chart. Let's find that here. That is right against the lows here from July 18th, and that level is 451.70, so that would put us way up here. That's real close to that 200-day moving average. That does seem like a reasonable target. Nat gas is highly volatile, no pun intended, so beware trading that market. That's about what I've got time for today, folks. Well, real quick before I let you go, the metal markets have had some big moves here lately. Gold futures are down about $70 here this morning, hitting that trend line support here again yesterday, down 250. That's a big bearish day. Most of this, I think, is profit taking / margin liquidation here. Probably going to see a little bit more of it. I do like the gold and the silver markets from the long side. I think they're going on sale here a little bit. Silver market's only down about 6.5, 7 cents lower here today. It is bouncing off that trend line support. Silver was down $3.68 yesterday. Again, I think this is short covering / profit taking. After yesterday's trade, I mean, really anybody who's been a buyer here since October 13th is losing money, and they may not stick around with those short-term positions.